Stay at home, we beg you.
Some stark advice there from specialists in Belfast. A leisure centre in the town of Carmarthen in Wales will be turned into a designated coronavirus ward when the virus hits its peak. Our correspondent Thomas Morgan is there for us now. Thomas, tell us more about how this is going to work.
So the council here in Carmarthen and the Health Board, however, have been in talks for some time about turning some of their areas into extra facilities for designated coronavirus patients. So what they've decided is the legislature behind me, just outside the town of Carmarthen, will now begin being turned into and converted into a designated coronavirus patient ward. Now, when I spoke to the council leader earlier on, he said that the aim was to have it up and running so when the virus hits its peak around May time in this area, following clinicians' advice, it would be open. But he also added, if needs be and needs must, and the virus progressed far worse than expected, they could get this place opened as soon as possible. This isn't the only place that Carmarthenshire Council and the Health Board will be adding as an extra facility, an extra ward in this area. A bowls club in Llanelli will also be converted, as will the Scarlets training facility, the professional rugby team in this area. There's been a few other developments here in Wales over the last 24 hours. We've been told that the biggest agricultural festival in Europe, the Royal Welsh, has been cancelled in July, and the First Minister, Mark Drakeford, has made a statement today. He said that he has now closed caravan parks, campsites and tourist hotspots and beauty spots. Now this comes after there was record numbers on Snowdonia and across the Brecon Beacons over the weekend as people fled from the cities and the towns to try and escape those populated areas. But actually what happened was everyone went to those beauty spots and those rules, staying 2 meters away from each other, they clearly weren't put in place. So the Welsh Government have had to put these measures in place to urge people to follow the guidance that they set to keep people safe, really. And the message from the First Minister was, although we've got a beautiful countryside here in Wales, now is the time not to appreciate it, but to stay home and save lives.
Okay.
Also, it's been added that those that own caravans...
I wouldn't finish then, that was so funny then.
...go to those, just so they don't overburden rural communities.
Thank you very much indeed. Thomas Morgan. Now, government communications...
Yeah.
...virus crisis, with some politicians claiming that the Prime Minister is failing to provide clear guidance. We speak now to Alistair Campbell, who's the former Downing Street Press Secretary for Tony Blair, who joins us from North London. Good to have you on the programme, Alistair Campbell. A lot of people won't be surprised to hear that you've been critical of the government's communications strategy, but you are giving them some clear advice as well in your blog. Just tell us what you think they ought to be doing.
Well, look, let me say first of all, I do not remotely underestimate the scale of the challenge they're facing. And I also should emphasise that I think the most important thing is obviously the policy and the strategy that they develop. But I do think at a time like now, and this is a crisis far bigger than anything I had to help Tony Blair deal with. It's huge, it's complicated, it's global, it's multifaceted. But I think that there are certain principles of crisis communication that they're not following. I think it's right that Boris Johnson is doing these regular briefings, but I think they've had actually a potentially counterproductive effect. I think there have been an awful